We just labeled the rest of page 1. We labeled this picture. So if you'll look at page 2, the back of page 1, you'll see this diagram. This again is a muscle cell. You'll notice that it's wrapped in, what is it? What wraps a muscle cell? This would be endomysium. One more time. Notice the stripes. And what is this? What is this? These are nuclei. Remember, skeletal muscles have multiple nuclei. So this muscle cell is made up of myofibrils. Myofibril makes up a myofiber. When we look at each one of these, we look at just from here to here in this myofibril, we see structures that look like this. Okay, these pink ones are thick, and these are thin. The thick ones are myosin, and the thin ones are made of a protein called actin. So they're both made of proteins. The thick ones are made of a protein called myosin. The thin ones are made of a protein called actin. If you need help, actin is thin. Actin is thin. Myosin, that's a big old fiber. Just trying to help you remember. Actin are the thin fibers. Myosin are the thin fibers. So this is an artist's depiction of what these thick and thin fibers look like. And these thick and thin fibers work together in a subunit of this muscle called a sarcomere. So you would have a sarcomere from here to here, and then you would have another sarcomere from here to here, and then you would have another sarcomere from here to here, and another sarcomere from here to here. And they just all work together like cars in a big train. So if we look at the next slide, on page 3, you see this. What you see is a sarcomere, and this sarcomere is contracting. And this sarcomere is relaxing. So let's label the contracting one first. Here in the middle of the sarcomere, we have the M line. Good name for the 50-yard line, M right there in the middle. And at the end, what we have here, what letter does that look like? What is the last letter in the alphabet? There you go. This is the Z line. So a sarcomere runs from Z line to Z line with the M line in the middle. A football field runs from end zone to end zone with the 50-yard line in the middle. Basketball court runs from basketball goal to basketball goal with the center court line in the middle. You get the idea? You would have another sarcomere continuing over here and over here and over here. You'd have another sarcomere on this side as well. All right. We can see that these pink fibers are the red fibers. These are thick. And what are they made of? Myosin. Great. And then these fibers, the little blue ones, are thin. And what are they made of? Actin is thin. There you go. So we have the thick and thin fibers. Now, from here to here, we call this the A band. And from here to the next, we call it the I band. And we have an I band over here. And honestly, this is an A band because when we look at it under a microscope, this area is darker. And the reason it's darker, the A band is darker because it has both thick and thin filaments making it up. The I band is lighter. It's not as dark. It has only thin filaments. Now, you'll notice, well, hey, what about this? What is this area here? What makes up this area right here? Only thick filaments. There are no thin filaments. We call this the H zone. The H zone is where there's only thick, not thick and thin. So the A band compiles or composes all of this area, but the middle of the A band has an H zone.